Please, my husband. No, but I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance.
The internet is going wild right now because some fresh leaked photos just hit the timeline, and they allegedly show Erika Kirk getting way too close with J.D. Vance. This isn't some tiny spark. This is a full-blown digital wildfire blasting through every corner of social media. People are glued to their screens trying to figure out if this is real or just another messy distraction dropped at the worst possible moment.
Vice President of the United States took the stage in Oxford, Mississippi tonight. His appearance comes as Turning Point USA makes a stop on its American
The timing could not be crazier. J.D. Vance is sitting in the biggest political spotlight of his career, and suddenly Erika gets dragged into this storm like she didn't even see it coming. One leak pic and boom. Their whole situation looks shaky, like someone just cut the safety rope without warning. Now, the internet detectives are losing their minds, zooming in on every pixel, comparing reflections, matching outfits, analyzing the background like forensic experts. And here's where things get spicy. These photos didn't just magically appear. Someone clearly held onto them, waiting for the exact moment to cause maximum chaos, maximum noise, maximum suspicion. So, everyone's asking the same question right now. And the tension is unreal. Who dropped those photos? And what were they really aiming for? The timing is way too perfect. Almost like someone planned this move with cold precision. J.D. Vance's image is shining brighter than ever. And suddenly, this chaos drops out of nowhere, right when the spotlight is the strongest. Meanwhile, Erika's out here trying to act calm, posting carefully polished messages and ducking cameras. But you can see the stress all over her vibe. Every tap, every story, every tiny move she makes gets picked apart like people are running surveillance on her. But here's the wild part. This drama has moved way past a couple of questionable photos. Now there are whispers about secret meetups, wiped messages, and insiders quietly dropping tea from behind closed doors. The deeper you look, the messier everything starts to feel. And allegedly, there's a whole stash of evidence hiding in the dark that hasn't even been released yet. Stuff that insiders swear is way heavier than what the internet has seen so far. People are saying the leaks we got were just the appetizer. And the real bombshells are sitting in someone's pocket waiting for the right moment to explode. And look at this. J.D. Vance's camp hasn't said a single word. No denial, no pushback, no explanation, nothing. That silence is freaking people out even more because it feels like something serious is happening behind those political doors. And remember, J.D. Vance isn't just any politician. He's the Vice President of the United States. The man who walked into the White House right next to Donald Trump. This situation is getting intense fast.
Mississippi now, where Vice President J.D. Vance is speaking at a Turning Point USA event at Ole Miss right now. He was joined by late Turning Point USA co-founder Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika Kirk. She's also the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
Election. Every single thing J.D. Vance does becomes instant breaking news. So the moment his name got mixed up with Erika Kirk, the media absolutely lost its mind. Every outlet, every podcast, every talk show suddenly had their eyes locked on these two. And remember how those photos dropped at the worst time possible? Yeah, it gets even messier. Erika genuinely thought her private life was airtight, like nothing could slip through the cracks. But come on, in today's digital world, nothing stays hidden. Especially when you're standing next to some of the most powerful names in the country. Once you're in that circle, privacy isn't real anymore. And Erika is finding that out the hard way. Then things got even more chaotic. New versions of the photos started popping up. Different angles, clearer lighting, tiny details sharpened just enough to make people stare harder. It felt like someone wanted to erase every last bit of doubt and make the whole world believe these shots were legit. Whoever leaked them wasn't playing around. Their mission looked like one thing only, full exposure with no room for escape. Some insiders even claim Erika tried to move fast, hitting up certain media outlets to shape the narrative before everything exploded. But by the time she tried to steer the story, the storm was already way too big. The internet completely hijacked the situation within minutes. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, every platform got flooded with those photos like a tidal wave. Nobody could stop. Within hours, you can picture Erika's phone blowing up nonstop, messages firing off, news alerts popping every second, and that heavy gut feeling kicking in as she realized millions of people were about to dissect her entire image in real time. Meanwhile, J.D. Vance's team was reportedly scrambling behind closed doors, holding rush crisis meetings, making late-night calls, whispering about what they should say and what they absolutely should avoid. And the crazy part, every quiet moment from them, every delayed statement, every pause just fuels the internet even more. Silence becomes gasoline in a situation like this. And these aren't simple random selfies, either. In several of the shots, they are seen laughing together, standing real close, eyes locked like they are sharing something that isn't meant for the rest of the world to see. But one picture is the one everybody keeps replaying, the one burned into the internet's brain. Erika gently resting her hand on JD's arm, leaning in, both smiling like they're holding a private secret only they understand. Who will ever replace my husband?
Replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance.
I do. Then there's another angle where they are tucked away in some quiet corner, just the two of them. No crowd, no noise, no distractions, and the internet is absolutely feasting on it. But here's where everything jumped from shocking to flat-out wild. Some tech-savvy people online pulled the metadata from the leaked shot before the files got wiped, and they claimed these images weren't taken recently at all. They were snapped months ago, which opens a whole new set of questions. That means whatever was happening between Erika Kirk and J.D. Vance wasn't some brand new situation at all. It was something that allegedly stayed tucked away for a long minute. And Erika didn't stay quiet either. She fired back through her lawyer with a sharp statement, insisting the photos are being twisted completely out of context. According to her side, she and J.D. have nothing but a professional connection, nothing more. She says they were simply attending a political fundraising event, and that what looks intimate was actually just a quick, harmless conversation caught at the wrong angle. But let's be real, the internet is not buying any of it right now. People want receipts. Real ones, and they are ripping her explanation apart frame by frame like detectives on a mission. But here's where things take a colder, more calculated turn. Sources close to Erika say she had already received unsettling messages before those photos hit the web. They claimed she got warnings telling her to step away from certain political circles or her private life would get exposed. At the time, she brushed it off, thinking it was just online noise or someone trying to scare her for attention. But whoever sent those warnings clearly wasn't joking, because not long after, the photos suddenly appeared everywhere. Now, the whole internet is asking the same wild question. Who's pulling the strings behind all of this? Could this be a political hit job aimed at shaking J.D. Vance's whole reputation and throwing chaos straight into his inner circle? Plenty of insiders are convinced this wasn't random at all, but a perfectly timed move designed to embarrass every single person caught in the crossfire. And just when you think this mess can't get any wilder, the whispers start growing louder, hinting that Erika might not be the only person caught in these leaks. Rumor has it there are more photos out there involving other political figures at those same private gatherings. If that turns out to be true, then this isn't just a small scandal anymore. We're talking about a full-blown political soap opera just getting started. The opening scene of something way bigger than just Erika and J.D.
To immerse himself in the culture of the campus that he was in. And so, from word on the street, you guys have a chant.
And here's another twist. Ever since the leak, Erika has been scrubbing her social media like she's on some kind of mission. Over 50 posts deleted in just 48 hours, wiped out like they never existed. Fans picked up immediately that she removed almost every single picture connected to political events she attended this past year. No speeches, no fundraiser pics, no campaign moments, nothing at all. Her page looks like she's trying to erase a whole chapter of her life, and people are noticing. It looks like she's trying to wipe out an entire chapter of her life overnight, like she doesn't even want a trace left behind. But that's not the end of it. Eagle-eyed fans started digging through old interviews and unearthed one from about 3 months ago where J.D. Vance got hit with what seemed like a harmless question about his relationships with political consultants. Back then, nobody cared. It flew right under the radar. Now, people are replaying that clip nonstop, saying his tone felt stiff and his body language looked way too guarded, like he was hiding something right in plain sight. And here's where it gets even wilder. Erika's own LinkedIn shows she's worked on several major campaigns over the years, but there's one detail that the internet refuses to let go of. She allegedly had direct ties to J.D. Vance's political circle just last year. Maybe it's a coincidence, but in a world where every handshake, every meeting, every whispered conversation can mean something, this connection is looking uncomfortably close for comfort. And just when you think your brain is maxed out, hold on, because this next part flips the whole story into full political thriller territory. What's happening behind the scenes right now feels like something straight out of a Netflix drama. Right after those photos went viral, both Erika Kirk and J.D. Vance vanished from the public eye for hours. No posts, no statements, no rush damage control, just a heavy silence sitting over everything like a storm cloud. And in the middle of that silence, the tension only got louder. Journalists immediately started digging deeper, trying to figure out where those photos were taken and who else was in the room that night. And that's when the real chaos exploded. The location in those shots wasn't some basic hotel ballroom or public fundraiser spot at all. It was allegedly a private retreat site in Virginia used for high-level donor gatherings. The kind of place where everything is controlled down to the smallest detail. Phones are usually banned. Guests get screened before they even step inside. Nothing happens there without someone signing off. So, the big question becomes, how do photos like that even exist? Someone had to break serious protocol to get those images, which instantly makes the whole situation way more suspicious. Now, insiders are claiming that only a tiny handful of people had access to that private area, meaning the person who took those photos wasn't just some random face in the crowd. This had to be someone close enough to Erika and JD to catch them totally off guard.